What's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today, we're going to be talking about the current banner hero, Choux, and the Mystic Rotation hero, Dark Corvus, touching on them both a little bit so you guys get an idea for both. So if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord. I do want to host another King's Cup. This time, hopefully making it a little shorter so everyone can participate. And I'm thinking of doing it next week, so make sure you join the Discord and subscribe to be updated when the video drops and when I stream it. And also to participate if you want to, make sure you join the Discord. But right, enough about the channel, let's get on to the units. We are going to be summoning for Choux, not for Dark Corvus, for personal reasons. And I'll talk about it later on. But we are going to be doing summons for Choux, and they're pretty hype summons, and they'll be at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. This is actually my fourth take on this video. Two of the takes were too long. The third take, I realized I missed a key point on Choux. So I'm taking the summons from the third video and putting it on this video. So hopefully it doesn't confuse you guys. But I also have seen a little bit of the clips that people have shown for Choux, and then my own thoughts. So you'll get a pretty concise review on her. Hopefully help you decide if you want to pull or not for her. And I'll also make the recommendation at the end, of course, as always. So spoilers, we do pull her. But Choux, again, it's one of you. Before we start thinking about it, we have to start looking at the stats, right? Health pool is extremely good. Same as Dark Corvus, same as Robbie. Very, very, very solid health pool. Very, very solid defense. Same as Robbie, same as Dark Corvus. But the speed is on the low side, which is where you start seeing some of her weaknesses. So she's a pretty balanced unit because she has very well-defined strengths and very well-defined weaknesses. But to get you in the mindset, start looking at the stat line, because you have to start thinking Robbie, you have to start thinking Dark Corvus, you have to start thinking A Robbie. You have to start thinking Bruiser. Don't think Cleave, don't think big damage, don't think Rylet, don't think Little Queen Charlotte. Think heavy Bruiser like A Robbie, Dark Corvus, Robbie, Ken, and even a little bit of Alencia, because Alencia definitely is one of the stronger boosters. So start thinking in that general area, and that will help you make, and that's why I'm using to kind of show you guys a good understanding on Choux, because she is a bruiser. So don't expect her just to be stupid fast and be doing all this stuff, and then you're gonna be disappointed when she doesn't do it. So base stats very strong in terms of bruiser though. One of the better stat lines for a bruiser. As far as the awakening, she does awaken into crit, and we'll see what that's good. It alleviates a little bit of the build. It makes it a little bit easier to build certain aspects of her because she's a damaged bruiser. But also because you're typically, for bruisers, you do want to put them in tankier teams. It is kind of nice that she has this effect resistance if you are really struggling against CC. So it's kind of interesting. It's an option for you, but definitely the crit chance will help a lot. But let's actually look at the skills. Design-wise, a lot of people are ripping on the design and the voice lines. I think it's cool. I think it's cute. You know, it's one of the few children character in Epic 7. The only other children character in Epic 7 are Charlotte and Aether. That's it. So, I get that everyone likes their waifus and everyone likes their husbandos and everyone likes their edgy characters in Epic 7, but it's always nice to have a little variety. There's a lot of people that play this game, so definitely having more character variety is good. So I'm glad that they decided to do what it is. Also, she is a human. She is not a dragon, as I was corrected in the Discord. How she's able to move her tail even though it's part of her jacket, that is still beyond me. But she is a human. It does say it in the journal. They did say it in the release video. This is a human child, not a dragon, in case everyone was wondering that. But alright, let's actually see the skills. I kind of like the ice theme too, so that's pretty cool. Skill 1, nothing crazy. Combat readiness is nice, and it does kind of help her with her problem of not having that high base speed. So this skill actually does function pretty well for her. It is 20% combat readiness. We'll talk about later how this skill also makes her a really strong PvE unit in one part of the game. But overall, for an S1, nothing too crazy. It does allow her to potentially have a counter build, because on a counter build, you are able to use this combat readiness a lot more, get more turns out of her, and get more out of her. I know a lot of people are building her speed, but I really think counter set might be the way to go to abuse this S1 and to also stack focus, which, as we'll see in a second, is actually a very, very strong mechanic. This is also based on her max health, so she is a bruiser that can do damage, and you can still stack up very beefy. So that is really good for any bruiser. Being able to do damage on your on your defensive stats is very, very powerful, because that means you can do damage while still being tanky and annoying. So similar to like a Ravi, which she can be really, really tanky but still do a lot of damage. So very, very strong there. Now the S2. This is where we're going to see make it or break it. So the ratios, I've seen a couple of videos, and I've seen everything from this is trash to this is actually kind of good. What you have to remember for this is that she is a bruiser, so she does have high damage potential. I still think it's not the same damage potential as in Alencia though. Alencia still has the highest damage potential, but Alencia does have to have the buff on her to reach that damage potential. But whereas Choux can also penetrate defense, so she can also do a pretty good work on some of those beefy units like the Royal Light. So let's actually talk about it. So skill penetrates the enemy's defense by 30%. That's really strong. Having penetrate defense is very, very strong. A lot of units are relying on defense buff like Craw, Ross, Alencia. They all provide defense buff, so it is kind of nice that she's able to penetrate that. When she has 5 stacks, she is able to penetrate by an extra 20%, which puts her around the same level of penetration as a Rylet and as Sermia and like as a Little Queen Charlotte. Again, pretty good. It's not game breaking, but 50% penetration is really, really strong. The other thing is that this damage is based again on her health, which means you can build her stupid tanky and be able to do damage. Y'all, that is so strong. That is so great. And what you have to remember is that this skill also resets cooldown if you have full stacks. So that's why I think counter set would work really well on her, is because if you counter, you get some extra combat readiness, right? And you're also getting focus, so you can set up for your S2 quicker, get that extra penetration, and then reset, and then do the smaller penetration the next turn. So I think it's actually pretty good. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually a very solid skill too. That does kind of define her as like a damage dealing bruiser. Now, so far we have not seen any support, which is a problem, and we have not seen any sustain or self counter attack. When you think A Ravi has her own way to sustain and be annoying tank. Ravi has the built-in combat readiness, which allows and has the built-in heal. Dark Corvus has built-in healing. Charles is a knight, and while it's similar, like Charles is a lot more similar to her, Charles does have the counter attack. That has access to Elra's Sword, which allows him to counterattack a lot more, allowing him, and he doesn't need sustain. So she's not a sustain unit, which is kind of interesting for her style. But again, similar to Alencia. Alencia doesn't have any sustain, and she does fine. But that does mean that you're going to have to pair her up with some heroes that can supplement her sustain. Her S3, the last skill that I've been kind of like not showing, because honestly, I am a little disappointed in this third skill. I don't think it's that strong, especially for a bruiser when compared to other big S3s in the game. So let's talk about it. So we mentioned she's slow, and she's providing increased hit chance and immunity to herself. So it's kind of weird that she has such a strong opener buff, but she's not a fast character. So it's something that you set up after, similar to like a Craw, where you can set up the buff later in the fight. And immunity, you can always just give her immunity set if you're worried that she'll get locked down. She can always just use an immunity set and then be able to get immunity on herself. So that part's nice, that you can give her immunity and then she can provide immunity for herself. That's cool. The crit hit resistance. So here's my problem with this skill. The damage is not crazy, which is fine. You know, bruisers don't have to have crazy damage. But the buff that she provides is only the crit hit resistance to the team. Why do I think that's not the greatest buff? So Diani does this, but also gives increased attack, and Diani gives the buff for 3 turns. Choux is only giving it for 2 turns, and Diani gives an extra buff. The other thing, Diani gets like 50% combat readiness, whereas Choux gets nothing from this besides just the immunity for herself. So in that aspect, Diani sets up the anti-crit a lot better. The other thing is that this buff is not reliable when compared to something like Alencia, where Alencia is a 100% chance to strip the enemy, which is so powerful in the current meta, and then increase defense, which is a reliable way to get damage reduction. While this is a very annoying buff in PvP because a lot of heroes do rely on crit damage, it is still RNG, whereas increased defense is 0 RNG. If you have increased defense, you know what you're getting. With increased hit resistance, it's RNG. You might still lose the fight. It doesn't provide that much damage reduction. So it's one of those things that's like, honestly, for an S3, it's a little underwhelming. It's probably the worst part of our kit. Like, it's like, okay, it's cool. It's like annoying. It will definitely be annoying in RTA to have to deal with this, but it's not reliable and it doesn't do a lot for her team. So she and you want to use this early on because you don't want her dying, right? So you do want to use this buff early on, but that means that is one more turn where you don't have access to food to use your S2. This is why I think honestly counter set is the best build on her, even though a lot of people are building her speed. As far as the sustain aspect, I think a unique build would actually be lifesteal. But let's talk where you can actually use her and some of the other parts. So this skill 1 makes her a really strong expedition unit, fire expedition, because with this skill you are able to get that extra combat readiness, you are able to level up the fire boss and get out of the silent phase. That's so powerful. I definitely need this. So PvE wise, Expedition Fire, very strong. She's tanky, does damage, and doesn't put debuffs. She's perfect for Fire Expedition. Honestly, a godsend for me, which is one of the reasons I pulled for her, because this does let you lap the Fire Expedition boss, and I do need help with that. And the fact that she doesn't do debuffs and is tanky means she can survive and keep doing damage. So she'll definitely be good for Fire Expedition too. So I'm very excited to try her out there. As far as Wyvern, you can't really use her for Wyvern. You can use her in Raid. In hard raid because she doesn't provide debuffs and she's tanky and she provides some resistance to crits. So she'd be kind of a good unit for the queen because you're able to do like damage with this S2. You're able to get combat readiness against the queen. You can do a lot of stuff against the queen raid, and also like the. She does have an AoE if you really want to use it for Carcanes. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can actually use it for Carcanes. And then for some Abyss stages, again, she's okay. As far as PvP, Arena, she's a little bit on the slow side for Arena because, as we mentioned, you do want to get this to 5 stacks as possible to maximize your usage of this. But this, you have to remember, it's on a bruiser. It's not going to be one-shotting tanks. It's going to be something that you pair up with something else that can do consistent damage. She is a bruiser. So it's a little bit slow on Arena. I might still use it because this skill should be able to kill Arbiter Vildren when it has max stats and max penetration. So definitely will be okay for Arena. For RTA, she looks like a really annoying unit to take against fire teams. So like Kayron, Ross, Lilius. She seems like a good pick against those teams. Why? She is someone that can actually damage them with this skill too. And is tanky enough that she'll be able to survive for a long time and just be a really annoying threat to those fire heroes, especially Kayron. Because if Kayron doesn't get the crit when he needs it and doesn't get that buff extension, that Kayron's gone. Like, he loses a lot. So again, very solid pick in RTA, but not game breaking. So should you pull for her? If you're an early game player, I do not recommend actually pulling for her. You only have one PvE content you can use, and even then it's like there's other options that you have that are also free to play, like Lorena just does what Choux does. It just takes a little longer to actually build, so it's not a must-have for PvE. So it's one of those things that for early game players you should probably save your resources. For late game players, if you're struggling on the raid, the expedition, the fire expedition, like myself, she's a very good unit. She's also a very good addition to those tanky and annoying water teams. Like if you have Craw Dieni and they ban the Dieni, this also does give you access to that crit resistance and gives you a very annoying tanky water unit. So definitely a good tool to have in your arsenal for a water unit to counter some fire units, but not game changing. I don't think she's going to change the meta. I don't think she's going to come out of nowhere and destroy everyone. Definitely annoying though, because with this skill, you can definitely do quite a bit of damage, and since you can have such base stats, she's going to be really annoying to take down and a really good counter to Kayron. So definitely a solid unit in RTA. What I would recommend is wait to see what they're going to release because the anniversary is coming out, or is supposed to have a stream like next week. So I do expect big changes for the anniversary and potentially the limited unit. So make sure you wait to see, since she is out for 2 weeks, make sure you wait to see what they're going to be releasing for her. But not game changing, just another solid unit that you can use in RTA. I don't think she's game changing. I think she is just a solid unit. So I pulled for her because I needed some more water beef. I have no good units to tank out fire. So when my enemy picks Kayron, there's not a lot of units I can take to that. So it's definitely a good pick for me, and that's one of the reasons I picked her up. But alright, let's talk about Dark Corvus really quickly. He's been out forever. I'm going to tell you right now, with all these mystics that are reruns, always wait for the next one to be announced. You never know what it's gonna be, and then you also have a chance to pull it then. So there's no reason for you to shotgun it. I can already tell you right off the bat, very similar stats to Choux, exact same stats to Choux. So very high health, very high defense, and it's very easy to actually awaken. To get his imprint concentration, which is perfect on him. The extra health is so easy to get since Corvus is a 4-star hero. So it's actually one of the few 5-star heroes that it's easy to get the imprint concentration high. The S1 heals and provokes, which is actually really strong for Dark Corvus, as we'll see in a second. The S2 reduces his cooldown every time he gets hit. Reduces it by 2 turns if he gets a crit chance. And his ultimate starts on full cooldown, but when it has this, with this skill, like after 4 critical hits, you will have access to your S3. And of course, every time he takes a turn, the cooldown is lowered by 1 turn. So pretty standard. Nothing crazy, right? You might think that. But this S3, it's an old skill, so the description makes 0 sense. But let me just break it down for you. This skill penetrates defense. And the only thing that it scales off of is his health, which means you can make your Dark Corvus 30k plus HP, some speed so he can actually take some turns, and then like high effect resistance, and you have yourself an unkillable unit that can destroy Bruiser teams. Dark Corvus eats Bruiser teams alive because you're actually able to soul burn this skill, and since it penetrates defense and is based on his health, he can actually one-shot a lot, like almost any unit. He'll one-shot Cross, he'll one-shot Violets, he'll one-shot Rylets, he'll one-shot whatever you want to one-shot, he'll one-shot it. So where can you use him? He is the premier attacker in Guild Wars. High-level guilds that have this guy, if you have this guy in Guild Wars, you should never lose another Guild Wars fight that you have him in it. Why? Pair him up with a Montmorency or with an Acades or with a very tanky Soul Weaver and literally just survive until he gets his S3, kill any unit, and then just wait to repeat it over and over again, and you just win every single freaking fight. It's crazy good how this skill is. You can also speed up the process by bringing in, like, instead of another healer, bringing in like a Crawl or like an SSB. And then you have a really strong Dark Knight as well, so you can actually tank a lot of light heroes if they do have any there, like a Royal Light or something like that. So it's just, he is the most reliable Guild Wars offense unit, which is something that you can't say for a lot of heroes. For Arena, there's also 100% Dark Corvus teams, because this guy can't get cleaved. He's gonna survive, you're not gonna kill him, and just give him like 2 to 3 turns, and he's killing one of the enemy units, right? Like a Royal Light, Soul Burn this, Royal Light is gone. So just slap a bunch of tanks with him. You don't care about the speed. Some supports, maybe like a Destina. So like him, Destina, and whatever else you want. GG. You can win any single arena fight, which is nice for clearing lists. So again, very strong. And then for RTA, if they start getting, if they put no damage, which a lot of people forget to put damage on their teams, he is an amazing counter pick against Bruiser teams because he's actually able to kill them very easily over time with this skill. And if they just don't have enough DPS, he's just gonna tear them apart. So if they don't have a Stanit, they don't have an Akali, and they just bring like a Kayron, and that's it, that's all the damage they're bringing, or like just a Rylot, which a lot of people like to do just a Rylot, he's gonna survive that, and then he's gonna kill the Rylot, and then it's GG, right? So it's a very strong counter pick in RTA. So definitely have to see what the next unit is. But if you have been waiting for a really good Guild Wars unit, he is the best Guild Wars offense unit. There's no better Guild Wars offense unit than this guy. And honestly for Arena too, it's so powerful. Being so beefy and having access to the skill is crazy. So, but again, you should definitely wait until they announce what the next one will be, and then decide if you want to pull for him. Just so you know. What you're giving up essentially, because it's hard to pity for 2 units. As far as Choux artifact, I'll touch on it really fast. It's okay, it's unique. The effect resistance is nice, and then the combo readiness is nice, but as we mentioned before, reduced crit rate is not reliable. So unless you're running this on a warrior with a Diani, or if you're running it on Choux herself, it's not reliable to actually get it, which really does hurt a lot. Because not having, like Durandal on the other hand is reliable. Like, you know what, once you drop here, you're getting this. Also, Durandal is not a once per turn, Choux artifact this. But again, Durandal doesn't give you 25% effect resistance. And you can't use Durandal turn 1, whereas Snow Crystal, you can actually use turn 1. So if they don't have 100% crit, you also always have the chance to proc this skill. But recently, it's pretty hard for people not to crit first turn. So I think it's okay. It's kind of a mix of straight Gauntlet and Durandal. Probably the best on Choux, because Choux can actually utilize it on her own, whereas Deannie can get banned out in other places. So unique, good, not really, just unique. But yeah, final verdict on Choux. Has potential to be strong. Not good for early game because all bruisers are hard to build for early game players. So has potential, but it's a bruiser and can get outclassed by Alencia. But can definitely be a really annoying pick in RTA and a very solid expedition unit. So should you pull, wait until they announce what they're coming out next. But if you want someone for expedition, for fire expedition, definitely a very good pickup. And if you really are struggling like myself with water beef, like having beefy water units, then again, it's a very good pickup. But alright, that is all I have for you guys today. We're going to be going to the summons. So yeah, let's roll over to the summons. I do want to try to be able to pull her. I think she looks really cool, and I really need a water. I really need some water units. But again, not meta breaking, not meta defining, not bad. So just keep those in mind if you're thinking of summoning. So our first lightning. Let's see if we can get her and not have to use all our summons. So it's the artifact. It could be the artifact. Oh, it's just a 4-star. I always get baited by those still. This one's like whatever. Alright, second lightning. Okay, second lightning usually means good luck. That's always good luck. Okay, so it's a hero. Yeah! We got her! Yeah! It's lit! Yo, it's always that good luck! It's that summoning luck, yo. I'm telling y'all, the double lightning is when you know you're lucky. Oh, look at that! Triple lightning. Let's get the artifact. If we can get the artifact in like 10 summons, that would be in freaking insane. Oh, so it's a hero. I thought it was back-to-back, dude. I was like, back-to-back Choux? I do need him because I am thinking of building Assassin Sid. Alright, the rates are crazy. So I'm feeling lucky, y'all. I'm feeling lucky. Let's hope we can get the artifact and then we can switch to Covenants. Yo! What's this luck? Dude, this is nuts. The luck is crazy. I really want the artifact though, so I will stop around 130 and then we'll go to Covenant because this luck is too good, dude. We might even get an ML today. Oh, it's just a regular artifact. Dude, that's hype! That makes it a lot easier for me to build with the crit build. So I'll stop around 120. Unless we get another lightning. And then we'll switch. I should honestly be saving because right now I feel like there's going to be a limited coming soon. Especially with the 2-year. It's alright. We'll switch since no lightning. We used all our luck on this one. Let's switch to some Covenants, y'all. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling an ML today. I'm feeling good, dude. That's crazy. It's been a while since I've pulled the... If we don't pull any lightning, by the time we get to 50 bookmarks left, we'll stop for the night. Alright, we got a lightning. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Are we going to keep the streak? It's just a 4-star. So, Kawana. Alright. Let's see. We're getting nutty rates right now, though. We're getting nutty rates right now, y'all. This is Craw. This is Craw right here. Oh, I keep getting baited, dude. I'm so excited. Let's go. Double lightning luck. Double lightning luck. Let's see if we get it. Close. Oh, dude, these rates are crazy. What is happening? What is happening? Dude. Oh, we already have Elena. It's a dupe, but it's fine. The rates are insane. Rates are crazy. Let's keep it up, dude. Let's keep it up. These rates are too crazy, bro. We gotta catch that time gate. All right. Oh, I'm kind of sad it was Elena. We got Arrow. That's nice. Dude, that's crazy. Three 5-stars in under 50 summons. That's nuts, dude. Like, if y'all don't know, that's actually like really good luck. Is that an artifact? Oh no, no 5 star, no 5 star luck there. All right, that's it, dude. That was hype, bro. That's crazy, dude. That's like, I'm still shook. I think I already have an Elias knife. And I already have this, so we can get some good stuff. But all right, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed the summons at the end. That was crazy good luck, dude. I need to use that Elena to actually 6 star my Elena. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.